Once upon a time, a long time ago, in a faraway place there lived a kind young woman. Her mother died a long time ago and now she lives with someone. As is often the case, the stepmother did not love her husband and number 39's child and only thought of how to get rid of her as soon as possible. The girl tried to pamper her stepmother but in vain. The stepmother had an old friend in the neighboring village. He was a gruff, cantankerous man everyone wanted to avoid. His face was covered with black beard, so people gave him the nickname Anquat, Blackbeard Anquat. He and number 39's not that strange, those who happened to meet him said quietly and turned away immediately. One day Blackbeard said to his stepmother, "Hey friend, I saw your stepchild. Now he is 15 years old and looks pretty. Let her be my wife, you one and number 39's regret it. Any girl that someone like you wants to marry can boast of being lucky," the stepmother said humorously. "I and number 39's am so tired of worrying about him. I deserve a rest now. But as long as it doesn't and #39's refuse, because it and number 39's very stubborn. You can and number 39's imagine what he forced me to endure. Don and number 39's be afraid of anything. I know how to teach her how to behave," Blackbeard said. When she found out, she cried and begged but to no avail. And shortly after, her stepmother married her to the real Blackbeard. As soon as she arrived at his house, he locked her in a small room and said with an evil laugh, "Stay here and think about how a decent wife should treat her husband. I tell you, when I come to see you, you must be obedient and smile, otherwise you will be locked up tightly, not allowed to eat or drink until you learn to listen to reason." When Blackbeard left, the girl immediately locked the door and looked around. The room has only one small window at the top. "And I can never escape through there, and the girl told herself and sobbed. She cried until she was so tired that she fell asleep. A white one appeared in her dream and said to her, "Why do you cry so much? Don and number 39's be afraid of anything. Everything will be fine. I will leave my feathers for you, you just need to weave them into a shirt. When things get really bad, you just keep your shirt on." Next, the white dove landed on her bed and plucked every feather out into a big pile, then disappeared before she knew it. The girl woke up at that moment. "And what a strange dream, and she told herself. But when she looked at the corner of the bed, she almost screamed out loud in shock. There was a pile of white feathers as light as silk. The girl understood that she was not just dreaming, and she immediately started sewing the shirt. As soon as she finished, she heard a rumble at the door. "Open the door now. Who gave you permission to lock it yourself?" An angry voice ordered, but the girl remained silent. "Open now, otherwise I will break the door." Blackbeard shouted like thunder. He hit so hard that the door creaked. The girl was afraid and trembled. She only had enough time to quickly put on her fur coat when the door burst open and Blackbeard rushed in like a whirlwind. At that moment the girl turned into a white dove and flew through the window. Far away there was a large garden belonging to an old innkeeper who lived alone and never had the strength to do all his work. The dove flew there, perched on a tree branch and cooed sadly. The shop owner is always benevolent and cannot listen to the moaning without going to see what a number 39's going on. Seeing the dove, he said loudly, "A very beautiful white dove, and it makes a very sad sound. What and number 39's wrong with you? Maybe you and number 39 re thirsty? Wait there, I and number 39 I'll bring you some water. As soon as the bird dipped its beak into the water, it turned into a beautiful young woman. She bowed low to greet the shop owner. The innkeeper and number 39's eyes widened in shock. Where are you from? And where is the dove? I am the white dove, the girl said. I have no relatives left. My stepmother married me to Blackbeard. I and number 39 am afraid of him because he and number 39's a fierce person. The girl cried and told the innkeeper how she had escaped thanks to the feathers. The shop owner was very touched. He asked, and where are you going? I Don and number 39 know where to go, she muttered and shed tears. Then you just need to stay here, the shop owner decided. So the girl stayed at the inn. She cooks, takes care of the house, is lovely and humble, so the innkeeper loves her like his own child. One day, she rearranged the copper pots used to measure wine for guests to drink. She saw 2 shelves high up, just under the ceiling. There were golden vases arranged on one shelf, and iron vases on the other shelf. She asked the innkeeper, Father, why Don and number 39 we ever use those iron pots and gold pots that I see on the shelves under the ceiling? The shop owner ran over panting. You better not drink wine from those bottles. The golden pot is for the gods, and the iron pot is for the devil. We mortals already have these bronze vessels. The girl didn't and #39 know much better, but she had an easy-going nature, so she put the jar back in its place and climbed down. At that moment, she heard very familiar voices coming from outside. Maybe people here know something. Where is the shop owner? That and number 39 them, she hiccuped in fear. That and number 39 your stepmother and Blackbeard. Father, what will we do? Your fur coat is in the room, the shop owner recalled. Please run quickly to your room. After he finished speaking, the girl jumped into the small room and quickly put on a fur coat. She immediately turned into a white dove and flew out to the living room just as her stepmother and Blackbeard were asking the shop owner if he happened to see a strange girl in the area. I Don and number 39 know any strange girls, the shop owner replied. There and number 39 only my daughter here, and she and number 39 going to change into a new shirt. Haven and number 39 you heard of a white pigeon? Beard still acts in a serious voice. Hearing that question, the pigeon flapped its wings in panic and flew up to the ceiling, hiding behind a row of iron vases on a high shelf. The 3 looked up, and the stepmother gave Blackbeard a knowing look. This guy shouted angrily, "Whose pigeon is this?" Mine, the shop owner calmly replied. I met it on a tree in my garden, and I gave it food and water so it wouldn't and #39 leave. It and number 39 a pigeon identical to the one we lost, the stepmother announced. We also gave it food and water, but it was wild and it flew away. I believe it is ours. Would you allow us to look into it? The 2 men rushed to the shelf. Blackbeard reached out, but the shelf was out of reach. If you and number 39 excuse me, I and number 39 catch it for you myself, the shop owner said politely. It let me catch it, but it flew away when someone else tried to catch it. In the meantime, Please sit at the table and I and number 39 LL take the liberty of offering you a glass of wine." Blackbeard mumbled a few words, but his stepmother immediately sat down. At the table, the innkeeper climbed onto the three-legged stool and stroked the pigeon. It retreated into a corner, not moving, but people saw its fur trembling because it was so scared. Don and number 39 T be afraid, I won and number 39 T hand you over to them. Then he took 2 iron pots and climbed down. What about the pigeon? Blackbeard was grumpy. I was about to pet it, but it didn't and hash 39 T fly away. It will come down soon, the shop owner answered. In the meantime, please allow me the honor of inviting you both to taste some wine. Blackbeard was impatient and could N and hash 39 T sit still, but the innkeeper placed an iron vase in front of each person. The stepmother grabbed it eagerly, Blackbeard impatiently, and both gulped it down. The innkeeper observed them with mockery. The wine entered their necks, their arms grew longer, turning into 2 large wings, a hard beak grew on their face, their body took the shape of a large bird with shiny black feathers. They looked at each other in horror, cried out desperately in hoarse and quat, crow, crow and quat sounds, then flapped their wings and flew through the open window. In just a moment, people could only see 2 black dots far away on the horizon. "You can go down now," the shop owner said. "They Don and number 39 T come to threaten us anymore." And it was as he said. People never heard of the stepmother or Blackbeard. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.